Hello, beloved church family, and welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Paul Pursuti, and I'll be your host tonight. And I welcome you to our midweek Oasis Wednesday night service. As you'll be able to experience tonight, our Wednesday night Oasis is a place where we come together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between Sundays. Most Wednesday night services build upon the theme of the previous Sunday, sharing in a satsang style, expressing science of mind principles and practices with the intention that these gatherings be informal, intimate, and interactive. Our annual theme for 2024 is a grand rising, and our monthly theme for March is that's how we've never done it. Last Sunday, Reverend Ikea introduced ideas inspired by the talk title of Tell Me Something Good. And tonight, our speaker will continue the exploration of this same topic. So as we gather tonight, I really want to welcome you. Early in her ministry with us, Reverend Sunshine invited us to come to the center well. To do so, she shared these 6 C's for us to consider and to incorporate. Come with a heart of love and tenderness to the center. She calls that compassion. Come ready to exchange openly, and we call that communication. Come in friendship and family, we call that camaraderie. Come in harmony, ready to share, we call that communion. Come in partnership and cooperation, collaboration. And finally, she says, come in spiritual awareness and truth. That's known as consciousness. As we move into the program tonight, these 6 C's are the premise of sharing a wonderful evening with you tonight. If you're new to our community, either joining us tonight or watching us on our recording, please visit our homepage, www.oaklandcsl.org, and click on the I'm New icon and look at the lower left-hand corner of that page to submit your email address. Once you do, you'll begin receiving the Village News newsletter once a week in your email. It has all of the information on what is happening at the center in the coming weeks. So before we get started, please mute your own audio microphone. You can leave on your camera, but if you mute your audio microphone for the service tonight, this will improve the quality of our recording and tonight's transmission. Please stay tuned through to the end of the service, and you'll receive special and important announcements. So right now I get to introduce our speaker, and that's practitioner Regina Buckwalter. And she'll be talking about telling us something good. Regina's life work, Regina, I'm sorry, take 2. Regina's life's work has been to integrate body, mind, and spirit and facilitate wholeness through embodiment of consciousness and embodiment of love. As we do with every organized event at the center, we open with prayer. Regina, will you be doing the honors tonight?
Yes. Do it all.
Thank you and welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. I'm so glad you're the host here. So as we take a moment to just get centered. And centered inside. We center inside, as that is who we are. We are the spiritual center. And we connect and we own that is who we are. We are the presence. We are the love. We are the magnificence of our life. As spirit moves through us, we are that movement. And we drop in, anchor, and open to our time together. Open to listening, to feeling, to being present, and to flow with whatever is coming up or coming in or coming out. We just are in the presence of love as we gather here together in our community. Such a special time. Special time to be together, as it is the present time. And I just release, knowing that this service will serve those who have come together and those who will be listening at a later time, as I am here for service. And so it is. Amen.
So it is.
Wow. I am so glad that today is the day. You have no idea. And I just feel so moved and inclined to share a little bit about how this came together for me, because it is indeed a reflection of this talk, moment by moment. Over a month ago, Reverend Sunshine Michelle asked me to present on the Oasis, and I thought, okay, I can do that. I can fit it in. And so I chose the topic. I didn't choose the topic. That was a topic that was available to me. And I thought, yeah, I can share something good. Yeah, of course. And so for the last 4 weeks, and I am not exaggerating, for the last 4 weeks on my day off, being the kind of person that I am and wanting to do the best possible presentation, of course, I devoted my days off to downloading a script, meaning that I go for a walk in the hills, set an intention, and come back and then do automatic writing, which I did on that first Friday a month ago. The second week in my preparation, I thought, okay, today's the day we edit that script. So I had the script in front of me and I went over it and I moved it around and I read it and I got excited about the talk and I edited. That was good. The third week, I thought, okay, this is the week where we start to rehearse it. So there I am rehearsing it and going over it and reading it and editing it some more and moving some of the parts around. So of course it would be a good presentation. Last week, this past Friday, was the week that I did my talking points. So I put my talking points together and I go, oh, this is good, not bad, not bad. This is how you do an oasis. You put time into it and you nourish it and you develop it and you rehearse it and you get your talking points. I've been through that. I've done a number of these oases. Okay, so last night after my client left, I go, okay, now I really got to get this down. So I sat in front of my materials with my talking points in big print. And I tried to do the talk. And the wall came down. It was blank. I could not get a word out. And I go, what's going on here? This is my script. It's good. I like it. I no longer liked it. I couldn't do it. My mind went blank and I was exhausted. And I go, oh, no, no, no. I only have a few hours to do this. I have to get something together and tomorrow's the day and I've been working on it and I have the great script. I got the message, not doing this one, Regina. And I go, oh, darn, what am I going to do? So I couldn't do anything at that point because everything had shut down inside of me. So I laid on a mat, my restorative mat after my clients, and relaxed. And I'm lying there and I kept getting the message, you're not doing that talk. I got, oh my God. So I just went into what felt like the void and just said, okay, I'm going to hang out in the void. I know something's going to come through. It always does. It always does. So at dinner time, I was talking to Jeff and I started to ask him some questions about his experience with embodiment. And I was listening to what he said with a lot of attention and curiosity. Didn't go into my usual fight and battle, and we didn't have a fight about it. I actually listened to him, and that was kind of fun. So we had a nice little conversation because I was paying attention to what his experience was and how to simplify. So anyhow, out of my walk today, I said, okay, I need something here. So I got a whole other approach to my script. And I believe it is because of my trust in my connection to spirit, my relationship, and knowing that I have three brains. I have three brains. If I had relied on my head brain and how I was going to put it together and do it and being in my state of anxiety and what if and worst case and not good, nothing would have happened. What I'm telling you tonight, and we'll develop it later, but there's something that I have to insert before that, is that we have three brains. We have one mind and three brains. And when I am connected and moving in relationship with spirit, the intelligence that is available to us is infinite. It is the field. We talk about infinite intelligence. It's infinite intelligence because we have three brains. And so I came back and got inspired and kind of reorganized my talk to serve you. Embodiment is simple. Embodiment is living, breathing, referencing, being in the spiritual center for a couple of reasons. But for me, it's because it feels good. It feels good. It is simple. This whole thing that we teach about God and spirit is not a huge volume of complex abstractions and ideas. Yes, Ernest Holmes, you are downright brilliant. Don't get me wrong. I respect the guy. And I try to create meaning and essence with his words. And when it comes to spirit, spirit is easy and simple and feels good. And that's what we teach. God is good because spirit feels good. We have a relationship with our spiritual essence in the world on the inside. And we move it and we feel it, and it's divinely intelligent. So, anyhow, that was my experience with this talk, and kind of blew me away. It's like, yeah, living on the edge and allowing what comes through to be totally perfect. So, in addition to that piece, I want to say that who I am, my life has been organized of one guiding principle, and that has been love. Love. Spirit is love. And as a very young child, it was my investigation, my curiosity, my confusion. What is love? That I went to a Catholic school, and that's what they talked about in the Sacred Heart. And, the Blessed Mother had the heart, and Jesus had the heart, and love our neighbors, love ourselves. But what was that? What did it mean? What did it feel like? The next question was, what does it feel like? I didn't know. And I would ask the nuns, and then I would be the rebellious child that had to be punished because I was asking the forbidden. Like, you don't ask about love, you just know it. Of course, Jesus is love. Well, what is that? So it's been my investigation to know what it feels like. Spirit is love. And love is the most potent power that we have as people. It is the dissolver. It is the forgiver. It is the expander. It is a connecting force. It is creativity. It is gentleness. It is safety. It is security. It is our power. It is our communication. It is our intelligence. It is our imagination. It's all of that. Love shows up as all of that, and it feels good. Spirit feels good. I want to hang out with spirit. I don't want to hang out in my analytical mind and my worries and my stories and all of the things that I know to be true and all of the things that I've studied and all of the things that I put together. I had to eliminate all of that in my talk. It's not about me. It's about love. The last piece in my investigation is, how do I sustain it? Love is not connected to anybody. We do not have people in our relationship so we can feel love. It's not about them. And I learned that brutal lesson when my son left and moved to New York. It's like, no, you have to stay here because when I'm with you, I get to feel unconditional love. No. He had to go on. And I had to find that love in me. It's a brutal, brutal lesson that I had to learn. It was brutal for me, maybe not for other people, but that's what took me to the bone in my body. And love can take one there. It's that essential. Oof. So to sustain it is how we move our breath and our focus and our intention, because what we put our attention on magnifies. I just want to do a shout out to March. And then I'm going to move into a little other platform here. March is a celebration of women, which was why I was invited. Reverend Sunshine said, we're celebrating women. Hey, can you do a talk? And I go, okay. The feminine principle is love. Is love. I don't make just this stuff up. It has been taught by many, many Eastern religions. It is the divine feminine that is the essence. It is the substance that moves through us. The principle of the male is the center, the spiritual center. Okay, we stay in the center. We anchor in the center. And it is the substance of love that animates the center. Love animates the center and creates life. And we get to feel our lives. We don't just think about it, we feel it. We're not doing an abstract observation of our experience. We are engaged in feeling love. So let's just drop in for a second. I need a break here and just drop in for a second or two. And feel and come in to our center. And know love is always there. It is the spiritual essence of who we are. And we come back and come back because love feels good. It feels good. Okay. So Ernest Holmes, coming back to my buddy, I've had an interesting relationship with this guy, trying to really come into his teachings and feel it. So he said, what we think, how we think, or what we think is how our life is, you know, what we think, so it is. What we think increases, and we know that to be true. What we put our attention on, we will manifest. It will increase in our life. Okay. I say that we focus our mind. We use our mind. What we think, okay, our minds is how we focus. Our minds are amazing at focusing on things we really want. So we focus on our mind, inside on the center, say, hey, spirit, I'm on board. I want to hang out with you. You make me feel good. When I'm connected to you, buddy, I'm on board. We have a good time. Life is good. I want to do my life with you. We focus our mind. I'm inside. Oh, okay. Maybe I can breathe. Connecting with spirit. Spirit is breath. We focus our mind inside. We go high. We breathe. Spirit is on board. And we feel inside. And what I choose to feel is love. Spirit is love. Breath is spirit. My mind is on board and it's helping me out here to focus. It can be that simple. Embodiment is this simple. I don't like to complicate my life. I like to keep it simple. And the words and the experience of the body is simple. Too simple for our head brain, who wants to make it difficult, analytical, loaded up. I go for the pleasure, the bliss of the simplicity of the breath inside of me. Okay, thank you. So now let's do a little exercise. This is a very, very easy exercise with absolutely marvelous, I would say profound impact results, if you want to say results. Okay. It's easy, it's simple. And some of you may already know this one. So I include you, I respect you. I'm not the only one on board here, and I know that. I've just kind of made sense out of things. And this one, it really works. So let's try this out. Wherever you are sitting, look at something across the room about 5 feet away. And just throw all of your attention on that. Like, wow, that has captured my attention. I'm going to focus like crazy. Or in your imagination, you can imagine that somebody in your life is standing right there, and you might just love that person up. I could easily put my son on that door and throw all of my attention on him. I even have a photograph in my room, and there he is, and I just love that guy. I could put my cat, imagine my cat there, and I'm staring crazy at them. I could even put somebody that I'm challenged by. Like, wow, that's a different kind of energy. But all of me is going out. Okay. And notice what that's like for you as you do that. Okay. Alrighty, enough of that. Now pull all of that energy back. Like, okay, I'm going to retrieve all of that attention, bring it back to me. I'm just going to close my eyes for a second. And I'm going to feel my center. I'm going to feel me inside of me. And when I feel me inside of me, that's me. That's essence. That's love. That's spirit. That's my center. That's where I'm safe. Okay. So I'm bringing all of that back to me. Good, 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 good. Okay. Now sustain that awareness and also include that object. So I'm in my center. I got the object out there. And so I'm inside my body, and I'm also paying attention to that which is out there. And notice what that's like. Okay. So that's pretty darn amazing to go through life like that. Changes everything. It totally changes everything. And it makes things easier. We have more energy for ourselves. We're not dispersing it out there. We're inside, we're concentrating, we're collecting that center line inside of us. And we can be out there and engaged without getting exhausted and sick. And we're on board with spirit. We're on board with ourselves. When I say on board with spirit, I mean, I'm here. So let's take a little second here, take a little break, and tell me what that was like for you. Does anybody want to share?
So we're going to ask you to turn on your camera if you want to.
Yeah, sure. And it's not going to be like a big conversation because I still have a couple things that I want to weave in a little bit. Because remember, I have something good also to share about the three brains. And that's useful too.
So if you can raise your hand, we'll recognize you if you want to say something about your experience to Regina. Christopher, is that you?
I put my glasses on, sure.
Okay.
Hi. Thanks, Regina. Going out, it was the coming back where I actually started to feel something. I actually, that would begin to resonate. Otherwise, it was like going out and it was dissipating, it seemed.
Yeah.
But when it comes back, it was like whomp, turning it on itself. That was surprising.
Thank you.
Anyone else have an experience they want to share? Jeff, I see your hand.
It was interesting to be centered in myself and to notice the same object, but to feel like I'm still in myself rather than being in the object. It's more like reaching out rather than jumping over and being in the other place, in the object, which is what it was like the first time we did it. That's kind of what I was feeling or noticing.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to give a personal experience, okay? and this this one was pretty amazing for me. And this happened about 2 weeks ago. So here I was at a talk. I went to this talk. I was excited. I kind of like this person as a speaker. So there I am at the talk. And I didn't notice your hand, sir. Do you want to talk? Do you want to share now?
Oh, sure. I don't want to. Sure, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Because I'd like to hear from myself, because this is really about hearing from.
I think for me, when I was focusing on the object, I felt like I was like when I'm inside of myself, it's like I'm inside let's just say like a physical house. So when I was focusing on something, it's like I'm standing outside in the yard. But when I'm inside myself and focusing outward simultaneously, it's like I'm inside the house looking out a window. That's kind of how I would explain it. That I'm still inside myself, but I can pay attention to what's going on outside, which is different than if I'm just like standing outside and I'm not within myself at all.
Beautiful. Yeah. And did it feel comfortable being on?
Sorry about the dog marking.
Okay. Was that a comfortable place, even though it may be new?
It was it wasn't uncomfortable.
Okay. Well, I encourage everybody to just kind of get curious, because my life evolves around kind of playing in and out in every which way with my relationship with spirit. Like, we have a somewhat of an active participation here, because I have a lot of curiosity about how energy and how spirit, how I am in how energy or me flows through me, because I want to feel life and I want to open and love, because that's been my guidance since I was a child. So back to my story. This was kind of interesting. I was at this talk and I'm there in the seat and the speaker starts, and all of a sudden I'm like totally lit up like a firecracker inside. It's like, oh no, no, I don't want to be here. I don't like the way it's being presented. I don't like how I'm being talked to. I don't like the verbiage. I don't like the message. I've heard this before. Get me out of here. So there I am with myself. And I go, how can I do this? How can I do this for the next hour and a half? So I said, okay, let's first go inside. Like, do this. Get on board and track what's going on inside of my body. So, and this is a practice that I think I've taught in one of my previous lessons, and we can always return to it in a future lesson as well, where I'm tracking inside, just like this, inside spiritual center, and I'm lit up all on my left side of my body. I'm leaning on my left hip, my left ribs are collapsed, and I'm there like tapping, like internally, like, get me out of here. I hate being here. And I'm like totally in my judgment and miserable. Because I thought, no, we can't do this. We're not going to do this for an hour and a half. So instead, I started to get very curious with what was going on my left rib and my left hip, and just started to gently breathe in love and just stay with it. And I got really curious with the subtle movements as my body started to very gently, subtly unwind with my breath, my attention, and my focus. So I'm sitting there totally engaged. And I thought, wow, this is pretty darn good. By the time the hour and a half was over, I got up. I had so much energy. I wasn't all angry and judgmental and all curled up and resentful and why did I come here and this was awful and nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. And I got up, got out, started to greet my friends, had a good time, had so much energy the rest of the day and weekend and more, because I have a different relationship with how that love can move through that part of my body that was clenching and judgy and pissed off and resentful. Okay, I'm sure it was all past stuff, but it doesn't even matter where it came from. I don't really care to hear that story. I just wanted to feel more love and not be so angry after an hour and a half. So that's how we can participate if we're curious about what love feels like. So all of that being said, I want to just talk briefly and then we can share some more, because it's important that I check in with you and get to answer any questions of how can I serve you and what's on your mind. But I just want to drop in because the three brains, knowing that we have three brains in one mind can be life-changing. And interestingly enough, it's now being scientifically documented because the scientists are now interested in studying the vagus nerve. And some of you may even know that. I don't mean to be like the master of all things. I find it very curious that what is now being studied by the medical profession and the profound impact on trauma, the three centers, have been around for over 12,000 years because they were very much part of the Egyptian consciousness of spirituality, the three brains or the three spiritual centers. And it's good for us to know because sometimes we as a culture get compartmentalized into only one brain center, and that's the head brain. Whereas we have the heart brain and the belly brain. And in energy medicine, the consciousness or the intelligence comes down in the field, lands on the earth and pops right up into our bellies. And we can jump on board and go, wow, what's down there? The belly, the heart, and the head brain. So anyhow, looking at the time, oh, it's on my computer. What if we just drop in for a second? And I'm not even a second, I mean a minute where we say hi. And we did this in our meditation. So this is just like revisiting where we were in meditation. And I want to say that each of these brains have a certain way that they talk to us. And we can engage in conversation with each of those brains. And all of those brains make up the one mind. That is why the one mind is infinitely intelligent, because it has three brains, not just that which we tend to overuse. So let us take a minute, close your eyes, and just feel again the wisdom center. And this time, as we drop in, we're just going to notice the quality of sensation and consciousness in the belly. As we breathe in on the inhale, making it big. And this is basic parasympathetic breathing. big belly all the way up under the rib cage, taking the belly button back on the exhale. And this is one of the most calming resources we have for ourselves to nourish our nervous system. As we breathe into the belly and say, oh my God, hi, mom, mother, nurturer, safety, support, and then exhale. And we breathe in and out. So I do this a lot when I'm driving, calming in traffic. I do this a lot in the morning when I wake up, to just get me grounded and in my body. My eyes open. Okay, go to the belly. We're going to drop down. The eyes are open. Come into the belly before I even get out of bed. And now that is the wisdom center. That is where the grand rising occurs. The grand rising of energy occurs in the belly and rises up, up, up into the heart. As we rise up into the heart, that which we got from the belly comes up into our heart. We breathe all the way into our rib cage, softening and letting love move forward into the heart. We have love in the belly, and that's its own precious love, that of calming, nurturing. Love in the heart, we move up. We get the messages, we get our heart's desire. The grand rising is moving up into the heart. It's like, wow, yeah, that's what I want to do. Of course, it's that. And we know it. We feel it. We know it, and we feel it. And then we let the breath come up, up, up into our brain. The grand rising moves up into the higher brain centers, showing us the visions, the possibilities, the clarity, and then out into the field above us, 4 feet above. That, my dear friends, is the grand rising that is always happening. We say, yes, okay, Spirit, show me the way. I'm on board. I want to feel good. I only feel good when I'm with you. And that's a fact for me. Because when I'm with that connection, I feel the love that is circulating and moving through me. And that love is medicine. That love heals us. It's medicine. It's important to remember that. Okay. Last thing. Ernest Holmes himself said these words. Yes. Divine guidance is ours for the asking. The answer to any problem which can ever confront us already exists in the center of our being. He knew this stuff. It's simple. We come in and we feel and we love. So he himself declares, we are the solution. It's not outside of ourselves. It's not online. It's not in all of the resources and the readings and the analysis. The intelligence is inside, and Ernest knew this. So I leave you with these words. We focus our minds and connect with ourselves inside and feel the love in the body as sensation. And we breathe and let it move through us. Love is not a concept. It is a feeling, a vibration, and we can generate it. And it is not depending on anything else except ourselves and our relationship. When we hook up and go in and say, yes, I'm living my life as spirit. I'm not even going to say with spirit because that makes spirit separate. I'm living my life as spirit. So thank you for your attention. Ta-da! Now it's your turn and you got some time to chat it up with me.
So let's all go into gallery view.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wish, like we did earlier, turn on your camera. And if you want to share anything, have a question, want to relate your experience tonight that you had with Regina, we'd like to take about 4 or 5 minutes to do that. If you could raise your hand like this or use your raise hand icon like that, we'll recognize you to keep order in the room.
We're good at that, Paul. You and me, buddy. We're on board. We keep order.
You're on the same line, girl. Same
Are.
line. Same line. So who would like to share something with Regina? Mrs. Brown, Susan Urquhart Brown, that is.
Yes, hello.
Hi there,
Hello,
Susan.
everyone.
Hi.
What came to me is when I am truly in tune, it's never my brain center. It's a combination of the belly and the heart.
Hmm.
And I realize that in my teaching of yoga, that is one of the beauties of that practice, is because not that I'm always tuned in, but that's where the information that isn't information, like, we study, but it's the heart and the belly information that comes in that I'm able to receive
Hmm.
and hopefully share with whoever I'm teaching or being with in yoga. So that brought up for me one of the reasons that I really love yoga and was very happy when I discovered it many years ago. And so that has been my practice
Hmm.
for bringing love into my life
Thank you. Yeah.
and all of that.
Thank you.
Someone else? Nikki, I see your hand. If you want to unmute yourself and share.
I want to go back to when I was looking, before this previously, when we were looking at something 5 feet away.
Hmm.
I was looking at a cookie jar that I had made out of clay.
Hmm.
And it pleases me. It's really nicely made and it's fun and it's my creativity. And then I had a student that was really good at decorating. And so the elephant opens up and it's like the little carpet on the back of an elephant if you were to ride it. And she decorated all along there. So I had this wonderful warm feeling of the relationship with the student and the collaboration that we did. And that felt really good. It just was there in my heart, feeling wonderful. And then when you said to pull that inside myself, it's very empowering that same warm, open, fuzzy love feeling is there separate from the cookie jar, that I don't need the cookie jar to feel the love. So it just feels like there's a real freedom in that. Like you said about your son, that that I can feel that love and that connection and that creativity without the cookie jar.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, okay. I'm
Thank-
complete.
It's a big realization to get that love is not dependent on anyone or anything, any
Yeah.
experience. We don't have to go places. We don't have to do things.
Mm.
We just have us and opening and connecting to that movement inside that's always there, always there.
Yeah.
As always at that talk where I was having my little hissy fit. And the love was right there. And I say that because I'm sure, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that goes to dinner parties or sits in sharing circles or whatever that gets like, oh, whoa, I don't want to be here. This is sucks. And go into my mind, go, whoa, wait a minute, Regina. This is for you. This event is for you. Unpack that, feel it, love up inside, and you will have even more freedom.
Christopher, I see your hand.
Oh, yes. What I've noticed is that when I am in the feeling of love, I am not around. Christopher is not here. The feeling is there, and that takes over the sort of the whole screen, and my problems disappear. But Christopher also disappears. That reference point of being somehow separate or in control disappears. And then I'll notice it, and then boom, I can pop out of that deep feeling. But when I am in that feeling tone, Christopher is lost. And I think that's why it feels so good, is because Christopher's not around to spoil the party. Or the thinking aspect of it. So
Yeah.
it's the pure sensations, or it's when the mind goes quiet or goes away, that what is there sort of constantly is revealed. It's kind of like the background of everything that I don't notice because of the noise of my mind. But as soon as that noise is distracted or goes away or does go somewhere else, I don't know. Because I know that I'm not really in charge of all of this. I have no idea what the next words are going to be coming out of this mouth. But yet I can trust from experience that something will come. So I think it's, when we take a look at the word love, love is not mine. It's something that moves. It seems, it's something that's recognized. It's something that, in a sense, quiets and stops me where in my tracks. Yeah.
I get it. It's a movement inside. Like, okay, that's me. That's the movement.
That's the movement.
It's the flow. Love is the substance flowing inside.
Yes. There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I see Doty's hand, and then we'll go to Jeff. Doty?
Regina, when you were talking about
Talking what?
three brains and one mind,
Yeah.
I could see that differently, that in my head, I can envision brains. In my head, I cannot envision three minds. So I shifted mine to be three minds, because that's invisible, and one brain, to allow me to be able to accept or understand or receive what you were talking about. I'm complete.
Okay, well, there are three centers. You can call them centers. I use the word mind because in science of mind, we encapsulate one mind. We talk about one mind. Okay. Try to make sense out of the teachings and make them real for me. Okay. You can call them brain centers, anything, but there's three clumps of movement, of centers, of circuits, however you want to say it, that move through us, that creates whole, perfect, and complete. We're whole, perfect, and complete through the movement of the three sacred centers. We can call them brains. We have the belly brain, the heart brain, and the head brain. That is from the investigation with the vagus nerve. So
Thank you.
however you can simplify and get curious with how everything moves around in all of this. And where do we localize? And if we're like too much in one center, sometimes that can cause health issues because everything is energy and energy moves. And so if we get clogged up in the head, it can create certain issues. If we get clogged up in the chest, that can get certain issues. If we get clogged up around our genitals or our digestion, okay, it's like the movement energy isn't circulating. We want to keep it circulating and flowing, the substance flowing. And it feels good. Just have fun with it and go, okay, how can I move this one around a little bit and feel good and feel different? Thank you, Dodie.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we'll move on to Jeff, and I think Jeff's going to be our last one, so we can wrap this up if you're okay with that, Regina.
Oh my God, yeah, I could stay longer, but hey, but I know there's a timeline, and you probably have a Zoomy timeline too.
Yeah, I have a senior minister timeline too.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, that one.
So there's your belly, your heart, and your head centers right there, all in one.
Absolutely.
Jeff, wrap this up for us. Put a nail in this for us, would you?
Well, I spend a certain amount of time working with students, teaching them skills about their iPhones and their computers. And I find that if I approach the students with love, it's a lot easier for me to deal with their quirks and eccentricities and resistances. It's kind of like I see the whole student as one person to love, and the ways that they may sometimes rub me the wrong way don't stick out so much. So I just want to, I guess, underscore that love really is an important way of being in the world and makes a difference in the way we treat other people and work with other people. That's what I wanted to say.
Great. Thank you, Jeff. Perfect punctuation on a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Regina, from my head, from my heart, and from my belly, okay? My whole...
Yummy. I like that belly part.
Yeah. So let's show our appreciation, everybody, to Regina so she can see it with either a gesture, an icon, whatever. Look at all your appreciation there, Regina.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Regina. And we're going to stay tuned.
Thank you, Regina.
Do some announcements real quick, and then Regina's going to close us in prayer. Alice, did you have your hand up, or is that just a hello? No.
Sorry, that was a mistake, but it's a hello filled with love.
There you go. Has it got my attention? Thank you, Alice. Okay, Peter, let us proceed. So we're going to start with, excuse me, this Sunday, March 24th, Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle will be speaking on New, Now, and What's Next. Peter, are you getting close to slideshow?
Hold on,
Okay.
getting there.
So we know Reverend Sunshine speaking this Sunday. I'll talk while Peter adjusts the screen for us. And she'll be speaking on the theme for this week of New, Now, What's Next? And so that will be Sunday at 10 o'clock is our service. Is our meditation, and service will be at 10:30. And Peter will catch up to me in just a minute. We know next Wednesday is March 27th, and our Wednesday night service will be practitioner Judith Roberts for a deeper conversation on that topic of New, Now, and What's Next. Meditation is at 6:30, and the service will be at 7. There we go. Well, next we'll join our 2024 daily community spiritual practice using the Abundance book, The 40-Day Prosperity Plan by John Randolph Price. Today we're on the 40th and the final day of the program, which is the 10th affirmation in the book. Follow along daily in the order that the affirmations appear. Reverend Sunshine will start our new round of the 40-Day Prosperity Program starting tomorrow on the 21st. So we're doing it again for the next 40 days. The season for nonviolence happens January 30th through April 4th for 64 days, commemorating the anniversaries of the deaths of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. Please contact Linda Wyman at bookstore@oaklandcsl.org or sign up at the front table on Sundays to receive daily affirmations during this period. Ramadan has begun, and it began on March 10th. It is the most sacred month of the year in Islamic culture, and we recognize and celebrate it. We celebrate also National Women's History Month in March, recognizing the contributions of women to events in history and contemporary society. It is celebrated during March, corresponding with International Women's Day, which was on March 8th. The Diversity Circle is partnering with the newly formed Social Justice Ministry on a virtual book discussion of Stained Glass Spirit, written by Dr. Tracy Brown. Join in this communal learning experience on Friday, March 22nd at 7 p.m., honoring the achievements and contributions of Black people and women to the CSL philosophy. Visit oaklandcsl.org, select groups, and scroll down to Diversity Circle for more details. The People of African Descent New Thought Group is hosting Celebrating Our Soul 2024, Consciously Creating Change. The conference happens August 1st through 4th at Unity Village in Kansas City, Missouri, and is an opportunity to come together to learn and share spiritual principles to help improve lives in our communities. Early registration ends April 15th, so visit their website at www.padntg.com. The 2024 annual meeting will be held on Sunday, April 7th from 1 to 3. Our new trustees will be elected. We encourage in-person participation, so join us either in the sanctuary or you can join us on live stream if you cannot come in person. All are encouraged to attend. Food will be available after service in support of your participation. It's a March mystery sale at our Spirit Treasure bookstore. For more information, please contact Linda and Wyman at oaklandcsl.org and visit our bookstores on Sunday and find out what that mystery sale is all about. Visit csl.org. That's our our big organization website to see what's happening within all the centers for spiritual living. And as well, continue to visit our website at oaklandcsl.org and sign up for our weekly newsletter, The Village News. Remember to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for special updates and content you'll only find by liking and subscribing to Oakland Center. Look at these great faces. These are all the people that work around the center and support around the center and serve and volunteer at the center in those great capacities. We want to thank them all for their service. As well, it's time to do our offering. So whatever gift you bring to the center, in whatever form that may be, in time or treasure or talent, just hold that close to your heart for just this moment. That middle center that Regina talked about, that maternal space, that loving space, and just hold that gift that you wish to share with our Oakland Center. And affirm with me as I say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies this offering. It blesses all that I am, all that I give, and all that I circulate. Thank you, love, as me. So there's ways you can donate financially. You can click on that donate icon, and when you do, there's several ways on the next page: credit card and mail and Zelle and text, or you can join us on Sundays and put it in the offering basket. So I want to take a minute and say thank you to Regina Buckwalter for meditation, the opening and closing prayers, and the message tonight. Thank you 3 times. I want to recognize the great ministers that support us here at Oakland Center. My partner helping on Wednesday, every other Wednesday night, Reverend Sally Bartholomew, and the beautiful Reverend Ikea that spoke last Sunday, who wonderfully delivered the Sunday message, as well as joining us tonight. Thank you, Reverend Ikea. And always we want to thank our Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman for this Wednesday night platform, our midweek Oasis service. Now, thank yous are always in order for the people behind the scenes. And that's Peter up in Portland, Alice Herndon in Oakland, and Alice Knutson in Marin. But tonight we recognize the newest 3rd place long distance winner, Dodie Cheney Fernandez. First time.
Yay.
Yes, she's 3rd place. Congratulations. And we also want to thank Steve Carter, our administration operations manager upstairs, that takes care and puts all these pieces and presents them to Peter and I so we can put this event together. Again, thank you, Regina. And as I thank you, I'm going to ask you to come forward and end our evening of togetherness in prayer.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Oof. Wow. What an evening. What a completion. So as we drop into the centers that create wholeness, the centers where we anchor, the centers where we feel our true magnificence as the blessings can unfold when we are aligned and connected and allowing the presence of this beautiful essence of who we are to move freely through us, as we have allowed the essence to move freely through us this evening. So with great gratitude, I thank everybody that has come, welcomed me, listened, participated, and opened their hearts, minds, bellies to being whole, present, and connected. And I just have such great gratitude for this evening, feeling and thanking. And I just release my word into this amazing law of infinite possibilities, and love, as love is always with us. We are love inside and out, and we receive it, and it moves freely through us. And we say yes to this life. Yes, yes, and yes. And so it is. Amen.
And so